XRP continues to struggle with the higher price ranges, finding upper resistance. Is this now a big turning point for XRP? In this video, we're going to be discussing just that. As we get into it, if you find it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, why not check it out? Linked in the description below. I don't think you'll regret it. It's the best community out there, in my opinion, talking crypto 24/7. It's the first place that we go to talk about what's going on in the crypto space. Let's jump right down into this video. So here we have XRP paired up with USDT. We're using 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 on the 1 hour spot exchange. Okay, so this basically allows us to kind of take a look at what's been going on most recently with those hourly candles. So as you can kind of see, we have this upper area of resistance right in here. Okay, this is something that we're finding as big kind of selling pressure, but it also happens to fall right on this fair value gap. And this is kind of an issue that we have with XRP at the moment. Let's actually jump on over into 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 here. Let's go to the spot trading. And what we'll do is we'll just load up XRP here. So let me show you what I mean. If I come over into XRP, so our expectations, as I was kind of saying yesterday, we were looking for a move to the downside. I think this is still valid before we get that move to the upside. You can see we've just been ranging here though. Okay, so let's talk about the problem. So the problem, let me just move this arrow over here, and we'll just move this arrow over here for now, right? So the problem that we have is that this fair value gap currently sat just here at 48.343 to 49.982. This area is created from an imbalance in the order books, yeah? All right, we talk about that all the time. Basically, large sell orders came in, there wasn't enough buying pressure in this range, and therefore price goes all the way down, right? And price wants to go back. It wants to go back into this range. It likes to put liquidity where liquidity was not. And at the most part, it looks like there is still no liquidity to be found in this range. Hence, we're finding it as upper resistance, right? So at the moment, there's just selling pressure here or lack of buying pressure here. Essentially, as you can kind of see from the order books, there isn't really much hovering around this range. It's equally kind of met by buyers and sellers at this particular point in time. This is preventing us from pushing the price up anyways, because we have sufficient sellers right in this range here. So we can argue that liquidity is right in the pocket where we are right now because it's highly liquid and the price doesn't move. And what we need to see is we need to see more demand to tip the balance in the idea of the demand box rather than the supply box. At the moment, supply and demand are being equally met. It's highly liquid right in the small pocket where we are, and we can't push the price up without first increasing the demand or decreasing the supply, as in we need to chew through all the sell orders and we need to increase the buy orders. That's going to get us up through the fair value gap. I'm just not seeing that happen right now. I think if anything, this upper resistance area that we're in, this pocket of liquidity, we're probably going to be chewing through a lot more of those buy orders than we are going through the sell orders. And the reason for this comes to the momentum indicator that does a really good job at kind of showing you demand based analysis, right? The stochastic RSI shows you the strength of a movement based on the volume behind it, and obviously how that reacts to the current price action. Now, it doesn't show you future price predictions, doesn't do anything of that. What it's doing though is it's showing you that there's weakness in the move to the upside. There's weakness pushing up to the fair value gap, and because of it, and you can kind of see it right in here in this overbought range, because of this, it means that we are likely to see a turn in that momentum. We're going to see the bears or the sellers get more control and push the price to the downside as there is insufficient buyers starting to emerge. People now are starting to feel, worn out from buying, essentially. That's what the stochastic RSI is showing us. Now, it's equally possible that all we do is a real minor correction and we just come back down a little ways. And that's kind of what you saw here. When we reached this upper area where we were overbought, you could see that basically we just had a small correction and we were back down in the oversold area. This shows you that there's weakness on both sides. Okay, the market doesn't know which way to go, so there's not many buy orders, there's not many sell orders, and the momentum is basically just oscillating between the highs and the lows. Okay, and we can see that here on 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓's trading view. We also have the order books and we can kind of analyze these as well. We can say, okay, well, we can see here there's actually well balanced out. You know, you've got 48.3s all the way through on the sell side and 48.3s all the way down here on the buy side. Basically means a ranging market, just going to be trading sideways. Eventually, those orders will dry up and we'll start to see bigger swings in the market. But for now, we seem to be stuck in this liquidity pocket where we are just ranging sideways. So let's come back down into our charts here. Actually, before we do that, it's probably worth actually just talking about the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 exchange for XRP holders or people who are looking to get exposure to XRP. So XRP in the US is incredibly difficult to get hold of. Many exchanges have delisted XRP, and the ones that you kind of had to go to, you may or may not like personally. Now, what you're looking for in the crypto space is a decentralized exchange, because that's a great way of going, or alternatively an exchange that has optional KYC, not something that you have to do, right? And that's kind of where 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 sits for me. It's an optional KYC platform. It's not something that you have to do. It's something that you can optionally take advantage of. Now, obviously, if you do KYC, you get better benefits, but for the US holders and US people, you're not going to be able to KYC with 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 because you'll just be restricted on the platform. You're not allowed to use it, right? And so if you're a US user, you're not going to want to KYC, which means you're not going to get certain benefits like onboarding fiat. But if you were to be fully crypto and have another on-ramp, such as on-ramp onto Coinbase and then convert you into USDT or USDC and then move that to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓, then you can basically transact in a KYC-free way. You can buy XRP, you can withdraw XRP, and so forth, right? So I think it's a great way. There's also many alternatives into how you can actually, use certain platforms in jurisdictions that maybe you're not supposed to. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice. I can't tell you what to do. Just how I would approach it personally. I would either be looking at VPNs, which is obviously another solution that many people use, all the way through to actually just looking for platforms that have KYC optional. I imagine that over time that's going to change. I spoke to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 about this. They don't have any major plans to change their current structure on KYC. They don't want KYC. They don't want to do it. But under certain circumstances, they have to. And I don't think they've got any plans to change that. They want to keep it as an optional feature. They don't want it to be something that essentially you have to do. So if you're in crypto and you're just moving stable coins, you could use 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 perfectly fine. There's an affiliate link in the description down below, and you would be able to take advantage of the spot and the leverage elements of 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓, as well as some of the fantastic offers that they have available as well. So it's worth noting on that. I talk about it a fair amount because I am really passionate about onboarding people onto 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓, specifically because it's a platform that I genuinely use for 90 to 95% of everything that I do. I never thought that would be the case where I'd be really focused on one platform like this, but I've completely steered away from Binance, had done way before all the FUD and the noise and the lawsuits around Binance. It's just that actually, I find 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 just a little bit easier for me to use. So it's one of those things. I use it a lot, and therefore I'm passionate about really talking about making other people aware of how good 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 is. But let's move back down into the analysis, right? So as we can kind of see, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 data here, we've moved up quite a bit. We've up into the upper resistance areas. We're finding that the 50 EMA is acting as a brief area of support for us, but I suspect we're probably going to have to move on down, and the fair value gap that is a little bit lower is probably the target range for now. Okay, so for here we are talking this little one coming in at 46.597 to 46.871. That is the range that I'm looking for at the moment. Now that could change a little bit. We haven't got the strength in the movement, but if I suspect Bitcoin has a big move down today, then I would think that unfortunately XRP is likely to have a bigger move to the downside as well. Now if I bring this up into the Elliott wave side of things, you can kind of see that this is where I'm looking for the main area of buying, 46.1 to 46.73. This actually shows a much bigger move to the downside of the three-wave structure before moving on up, because I still see a need to move on up. I just can't see it happening right at this moment. This would actually fill out that entire fair value gap down here as well. But for now, I suspect that we have to move down to where we were consolidating previously, where this demand area is. Okay, so that's coming in down here at 46.1 to 46.73. 3. So that's kind of where I suspect it's going to have to go, but we'll see if that actually materializes as low as that. There's a couple of areas that could be more interesting, a little bit higher in the price chart, specifically around 47 cents. Seems like a nice, interesting zone. So it could be that actually we find good support in those low ranges. At the moment, though, we're below the 50. We're above the 50 EMA, but are below the 200 EMA. So again, we're looking for consolidation and probably a push to the downside here. But whilst we're above the 50 EMA, it could be seen positive by some bulls out there. So interesting to see how that plays out. But I still suspect a move to the downside is an inevitability. We are overbought on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, so a good correction to the downside should correct that as well, allowing us to then take advantage of a bigger move to the upside later down the line. From our daily time frame, we're below the 50 EMA but above the 200 EMA. We still have our expansion in play, and this is something that could be a big move to the upside at a later date. Like I say, I suspect that we probably are going to be looking at testing the low side a little bit more. Specifically, if we continue to get rejected on that daily 50 EMA, we might have to look to come down and test the 200 EMA, but that's a little bit deeper, about 45 cent, 45.14 at the moment, to be fair. So we want to be a little bit cautious with that. Our stochastic RSI on the daily is in a good position, so we are looking for a big move to the upside, just maybe not today. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with our divergences. Nothing going on there. From the RSI point of view, it's actually well positioned. Volume is obviously decreasing as we're trying to push on up. That's not a good sign. So again, I would be looking at that as a potential issue for a break to the downside. If we were to start thinking about the divergences here, we've got lower volume, bit higher highs. That's bearish. That should take us down a little bit deeper, as would be indicated on those smaller time frames anyway. So for the most part, my theory here is that XRP has to be continuously to test those downs or test those low ranges just a little bit more, but we should be looking for a move to the upside probably in the next few weeks, and it should be a move of reasonable significance. So I would say that trading is something that we might be able to consider soon. After these next kind of moves to the downside, we should be able to kind of consider some good entries and some good long positions on XRP. I think it's just a little bit too soon right now, but I do think those moves are coming slightly further down the line. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm going to leave this video right there. If you found it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new, subscribe. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out. Link is in the description below. And why not check out 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, affiliate link in the description below. Like I said, it's my go-to platform, and I don't think you would regret it over there. But let me know your thoughts on 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. I'll catch you all in the next one.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.